位观众，大家好，欢迎回到我们的直播现场，我是你们的主持人菲琳。那么接下来即将进行的是国际汽联 F3 亚洲锦标赛倒数第2回合的正赛。不过在比赛开始之前，让我先来给大家介绍一下2020赛季的一个比赛情况。那么2020赛季一共会有5个比赛周，它会在今年12月份于马来西亚的雪邦国际赛车场开始第1回合的正赛，接下来会来到迪拜进行第2回合的比赛，那么在迪拜的24小时的比赛同场进行，接下来会来到阿布扎比的亚斯马瑞亚赛道进行第3回合的正赛。在第3回合比赛结束之后，又会回到我们的亚洲，来到马来西亚的雪邦国际赛车场进行第4回合的比赛，与亚洲勒芒同场竞技。那么在此之后，最后在泰国的武里南进行收官之战。So next season we will have 5 race weekends start from covers both Asia and Middle East. So and yesterday we had a very terrific race, and which gives Jack Duhan the last chance to still fight for the title. But before the race start, let's have a quick look of last round highlight. 那么在比赛开始之前，先让我们来回顾一下上一站的一个精彩集锦。
Welcome back to Shanghai International Circuit for the title decider of the 2019 F3 Asian Championship, certified by FIA. It's a high-tech Grand Prix battle between Jack Doohan and Ukyo Sasahara. Yesterday, though, it was all Daniel Cow. How's this charge from the 3rd row? The 2 high-tech Grand Prix teammates, the title rivals, focused on each other, and that, unfortunately, Tommy Smith coming into contact with Thomas Ludi. It was game over for both of them, but at the front of the field, Jack Doohan, who 3 weeks ago didn't quite have what he needed to take the fight to his Japanese teammate, this time managed to get clear and track down race leader Daniel Cow towards the end of the race. Jackson Walls, a great move through on Jordan Dempsey to take away position number 4 and get himself closer to a podium finish. High-Tech GP, no denying just how good they have been in this championship. Then this battle, unfortunately after brilliant work getting through on Sasahara, Brendan Leach had a tyre failure to the left rear going into turn 1. Game over for the young New Zealander. It was looking like another potential podium. That would have worked in Jack Doohan's favour too, as he hunted down Daniel Cow. But at the end of the day, the absolute racing driver, far too good. His first win of the year and the first race in 13 for this season that there wasn't a high-tech GP driver on the top step of the podium. Weather perfect again here at Shanghai International Circuit, as it was yesterday. Yesterday we saw some record runs. First sub-2-minute laps for the F3 Asian Championship, certified by FIA. Both Jack Doohan and Ukyo Sasahara under that 2-minute mark during the qualifying session. That really set things up. Sasahara again just marginally clear of his young Australian teammate, who'd really found something in the 3 weeks between the 2 events here at Shanghai International Circuit. The home of the Chinese Formula One Grand Prix. It will be the scene of the title decider. As Feline rightly said, it's this race. This is the one that counts for Jack Doohan. The deficit in the championship is 35 points. There's still 50 points on offer. That comes today, but it really comes down to Jack Doohan having to take victory. Feline should be down there in pit lane. Let's go and see if we can hear from the championship leaders.
那么曹卓，你今天呢会以杆位的一个位置发车。那么今天在杆位发车呢，有什么一个需要注意的地方呢？你今天的一个这个比赛的作战策略是什么样子呢？
今天目前这个赛道它是一条上午的赛道，昨天比赛是下午，然后首先就是赛道的温度不一样，现在是早晨，所以赛道比较 冰凉一点，所以在暖胎圈的时候一定要好好暖。然后现在我是第一个发车位，我只需要注意到后方2、3名的车，剩下的就看赛道上的随机事件了。
OK，Thank you。那么刚刚我问到曹卓呢，那么他今天的比赛，因为他是从杆位发车，有一个什么样的策略？他也提到呢，So today he started from pole position, which gave him a lot of benefit. But also the track condition is different because he started from the morning and the track is still a little bit cool down. And he said he will really need to pay attention on P2 and P3 positions to take to use his advantage to win the race. So back to you guys.
Daniel Cowell is sitting on pole position by virtue of setting the fastest lap yesterday. He qualified third behind the two high-tech Grand Prix title rivals, stormed through off the start to take the lead away into turn one as the two title rivals battled, more focused on each other than the local driver for Absolute Racing. And he did a brilliant job to storm away from Jack Doohan, who closed in over the closing stages. The deficit at one stage, 3.5 seconds. It got down to just on 1.1 as they crossed the finish line. Daniel Cowell, great job in the process of getting away from the field in the opening lap. So he set the fastest lap, and that sets the grid for this 14th race, the penultimate race of the season. And again, 50 points on offer, 35 points the difference between Ukyo Sasahara, the Japanese driver with 8 wins this season, to Jack Doohan, who will start from the second row. 3-minute board up as we get into the championship. So Daniel Cowell on pole alongside Ukyo Sasahara. So left of screen is the number one car, the championship points leader in this race. If he can just stick with Doohan, he will be okay. If he can beat Doohan, championship completely out of the equation. And we will go into this afternoon's final race, and it will be a new champion. So looks like Feline is down there with the champion-elect, Ukyo Sasahara.
So Ukyo starting from P2, and what will be your strategy for this race?
Yeah, just try and make a good start, not like yesterday. And hopefully we could be on P1 into the first corner. Then see how it's going to be, because I don't know what's going to happen end of the race. So I will try my best, all the best. Yeah.
OK，Thank you。那么刚刚我问到呢，Ukyo他今天因为他是从第2位发车，他有一个什么样的策略？他也提到呢，他会希望能在1号弯的时候能有一个好的发车，那么在1号弯的时候能取得领先的一个位置。不过他也提到呢，这个毕竟是一场比赛，他不了解比赛最后会发生些什么，他只能是尽自己最大的努力。Back to you guys.
Well, try his best. Here's an indication of just how Ukyo Sasahara's season has been. 13th race yesterday. He had his second worst result of the year. That was third place. Been on the podium for all but one race, and 8 of those 13 races have been victory. 4 of the remainders have been Jack Doohan, his teammate. So it's very much been a whitewash by High-Tech GP. There isn't any other driver outside of Jack Doohan or Ukyo Sasahara who can claim the 2019 F3 Asian Championship certified by FIA. That will be settled today. Could be this race. Jack Doohan, his focus, get off the line quick, chase Daniel Cowell down, try and get around him and do his best to take victory. 16 years of age, son of 5-time motorcycle Grand Prix world champion Mick Doohan. He is a very, very mature young driver. A good deal of international experience in karts and open wheelers. Looking at the F3 European Championship for next year. Euro Formula this year, where he's been one of the leading rookies. He has cut his teeth on open wheel competition in different parts of the world, but this particular championship, he's been right in the title fight. A little off colour here 3 weeks ago. That made things a lot more challenging for Doohan. But he's found something this weekend, was able to take the fight to his teammate as he has done all season. As the 15-second board out, the cars will roll around, get some temperature into their controlled GTR1 tyres and have their Tata chassis powered by that turbocharged Alfa Romeo engine. Get that all sorted, ready for a standing start. Leading the field around, Daniel Cowell, who'll start from pole position. Ukyo Sasahara alongside the championship points leader and the number 1 entry. There he is. He will start from position number 2. The Japanese driver, recently crowned Porsche Carrera Cup Japan champion for 2019, has had a good season. Jack Doohan, the number 2 entry, the Red Bull junior driver, alongside Anzac rival Brendan Leach, who was one of the veterans in the field at 24 years of age. He will be doing a great job again for the Black Arts Racing team. Jackson Wall's the third of the high-tech Grand Prix drivers on the third row, alongside Jordan Dempsey, who's been having a good close to the 2019 season for Pinnacle Motorsport. Isham Peiris in the second of the Absolute Racing entries, the gunmetal metallic grey and green entry, alongside Kwa Yu for Zen Motorsport, another of the local drivers. Akash Gowda in the M Sport Asia entry, alongside Paul Wong, who has taken out the 2019 Masters title in the F3 Asian Championship, certified by FIA. Thomas Ludy, brand new engine for this one, and the man who cleaned him up down at turn 2, young Australian Tommy Smith for Pinnacle Motorsport. They will be looking for redemption and try and charge through this race. Over 30 minutes plus 1 lap for the leader. That's all we have left in the penultimate round, and we go into the final this afternoon from 2:50 p.m. local time. Make sure you join us. It's just gone 10:05 a.m. here, China Central Time. CST, for those of you watching around the world, Greenwich Mean Time, plus 8 hours, 2:50 p.m. this afternoon, the final round of the season. Will the race be decided? This is it. This is time to answer all those questions for Jack Doohan. He needs to close that gap down to under 25 points in order to take the battle through to the final round of the season. Tough run for him last time here. He finished 4th, he finished 3rd, he finished 2nd. The only one he didn't nail in a round that was absolutely dominated by his Japanese teammate. He has found some form to get himself back into this title race, but came into this round 38 points down on Sashihara yesterday. He's managed to close that gap down by 3 points. Prior to Brendan Leach's failure, it was out to 6 points. With Brendan Leach's retirement, he didn't retire, he came into pit lane, changed the left rear tyre, went back out again, charged around to some pretty impressive lap times, but ultimately could do no better than 10th position. This is a different day, and this is the way this race will start. Number 5 of Daniel Cow alongside Sashihara, Jack Doohan, Brendan Leach, Jackson Walls, Jordan Dempsey, Isham Peiris, Kwa Yu, Akash Gowda, Paul Wong, Thomas Ludy, Tommy Smith. They will come to the grid, stationary in their starting positions, slightly staggered from pole. Pole is right of screen. It's on the outside of the circuit for the dive across into turn 1. That long sweeping camber turn 1. So the turn 2-3 complex, the yin-yang, very much reflective of this part of the world. Really trying to get tyre temperature up. Jack Doohan getting on the gas hard. Ukyo Sashihara, he's already sorted. Daniel Cow, brilliant job yesterday. Can he back it up? Can he do it again? Unfortunately, during qualifying yesterday, the second leg, he had a suspension failure. A rare failure, a bolt broke in the rear of the car. The team fixed it up, had him on the grid for round number 12. Sorry, 12 rather, yep. 13. Get my mathematics sorted out. Stormed away to that victory. There he is, right of screen. He's on pole. Sashihara behind him, alongside, on left of screen. The green flag will go up once they're satisfied. Everybody's in order. Engines are running. Cars are set to go. Revs will build. They'll dump the clutch. They'll be off the line. Doohan will be doing everything he can to emulate what Daniel Cow did yesterday. Lights will come on. When lights are out, we're underway with the penultimate round of the season. Lights on. We're go. Right of screen, Daniel Cow, brilliant start. Sashihara a little bit slow. Jackson Walls charging along too. Brendan Leach looking to try and affect something. Doohan's got around his teammate into position 2 as he did yesterday. Brendan Leach around the outside. Oh, Sashihara already trying to go up the inside of Jack Doohan. Brendan Leach, what a great start. Isham Peiris further back as Brendan Leach goes down the inside of Doohan. He knows that he can muscle him across. Doohan needs to finish. He doesn't need contact with anybody, but he just leaves the door open just that little bit. There's Thomas Ludy up to the lead of the Masters category. Daniel Cow, he did it yesterday. He is leading down to turn 6. Brendan Leach now into position 2. Can the Black Arts Racing driver from New Zealand affect his first win of the year? He's been on the podium a couple of times this year, been in the gravel too many times, as Sashihara tries to fire down the inside. This is for championship. Doohan's not going to leave the door open. He doesn't have a choice. He has to hold out his Japanese rival. He wants to finish, but he also knows that it's game over if he lets Sashihara past. Expect that number 2 entry to be very, very wide. Through turn 10, Brilliant start by Cow again. Sashahara trying to get up the inside of Doohan. Doohan just moves across, protects the line into 11. Now they're on the run to the Parabolica. Oh, Sashahara's got good drive. He might be able to get him too. He has. Alongside through the Parabolica, it'll be a drag race down to turn 14, side by side. Sashahara just trying to squeeze him across a little bit. Now it's advantage Doohan in the slipstream. Can he get him on the run down to 14 on the outside? Not so likely he'll get the pass through. It'll be a breaking duel down at 14 as Daniel Cow now defending from Brendan Leach. This is the battle for the championship. Doohan's done it. He's closed him out. He's got back up the inside. Good drive off the Parabolica. Managed to just get a little bit of extra run from that slipstream behind the number 1 entry of Sashahara. The Japanese driver drops back to P4. Because what this is doing is exactly what happened yesterday. They fought over position number 2. That allowed Daniel Cow to just get away. 7/10 now, the lead. Daniel Cow over Brendan Leach. Almost a second back to the title fight between Doohan and Sashahara. Jackson Walls in position number 5. Kuai Yu, a great start for the Chinese driver up to position 6. Got ahead of Jordan Dempsey. Isham Piris in position number 8. The 33 entry of Akash Gowda up to position 9. Car number 16, Tommy Smith, off the rear. He's already in position 10. 2:04.89. Flying lap for Daniel Cow. He leads this race. This is important. He's third in the championship. He's having a great battle with Brendan Leach over position coming into the round yesterday. 131 to 121. Unfortunately, that tyre failure for Brendan Leach as he was looking for a podium finish dropped him back down the order. That allowed Daniel Cow, who took victory in a full 25 points yesterday, to extend that gap. As now Jack Doohan continues to try and extend his lead. I'll guarantee you Brendan Leach is going to do absolutely everything in his power in that Black Arts racing machine to take position away from Absolute Racing's Daniel Cow. He's in under the slipstream. The drive off the Parabolica, if he can get through behind Daniel Cow now. Gee, the drive of the Absolute Racing TARDIS coming through the Parabolica is exceptional. The local team, good experience, of course. Very experienced campaigners in all manner of competition in Asia over many years. Fabian Fior and Ingo Mader. Look at this battle. There's a lot of weaving going on. Doohan needs to be very careful he doesn't weave too much because that will instill the wrath of the stewards as again he has the inside run into 14. Oh, Sashahara's trying to hang out wide. Doohan will get him out as much as he can. Is he going to be able to hang in? No, he just lost a little bit of drive off the corner. Doohan doesn't have a choice. He cannot afford to let Ukyo Sashahara past him. It's his only chance to stay in this title fight into the last race of the year. Side by side now. Good drive out of the last corner for Sashahara, but he's hung out wide going into turn 1. Daniel Cow showed yesterday off the start you can go out wide there and drive around the outside if you have the experience. That was cold tyres. We're getting those GTR1 GT tyres up to temperature now. I don't think Sashahara has that opportunity. He had a look. He's trying his best. He knows if he can just push Doohan, maybe the young Australian will make a mistake, then the championship will be settled today. 2:02.9 for Brendan Leach. Fastest on track. Less than 6/10 of a second. Off the tail of Daniel Cow now. Jack Doohan now 3.3 seconds back from the race leader. This is costing the two high-tech GP drivers. Doohan really needs another win to try and extend that advantage. 35 points is the margin between the number 1 entry of Sashahara and the number 2 entry of Jack Doohan. At the moment, Doohan's going to pull about 3 more points out of that lead, and that will make Ukyo Sashahara the 2019 F3 Asian Championship certified by FIA champion for the year. The second season, the 2020 season, not too far away. We saw that at the start of the program. We'll get to that shortly. It begins in Malaysia on the 14th and 15th of December. A very condensed season over what would be the European off-season, but right now no one's thinking about that. This is about Championship 2019 as Brendan Leach tries to close in again. I think it's the drive and the way the Absolute Racing have set up that car of Daniel Cow that gives him the run off the Parabolica, and try as he might and use the slipstream, Brendan Leach just can't make up that deficit on the run down to turn 14. He's going to have to employ a different tactic. This is further back. Kuai Yu doing a good job down the inside of Jackson Walls. He just messes it up on the exit. He's gone in way, way too deep. He tried to keep that position from Jordan Dempsey, and Jordan Dempsey's managed to be able to bluff him, and he's got through up to position number 6 now, and onto the tail of Jackson Walls. What's this, a replay? Oh, there we go. So Jordan Dempsey trying to mount an attack. Oh, that was lucky. Jackson Walls, that was a great move, because he was just about to turn into the apex of the corner. He clearly saw that Kwai Yu had gone in really deep. Not a lot of vision when you consider a Hans device, the halo device, and the size of the rear vision mirrors. So good driving by Jackson Walls to avoid that. That could have been a little bit nasty, because Kwai Yu had gone in way, way too deep. As that battle for the lead continues, Daniel Cow and Brendan Leach. Cow again just opening the advantage. It extended it by about a 10th last time round. Brendan Leach still with the fastest lap of this race. 2:03.84 doing last time round. 2:04.3 for Sasahara. He's opened that advantage up to 7/10 of a second. That's not too much. No doubt Sasahara will keep pushing. He knows, though, that the way things stand right now, at the end of this race, if it finishes this way, he will be the 2019 champion. A bit more of a gap, it looks, than 7/10 of a second now. So Doohan's finding what he saw yesterday. He really managed to storm across the closing stages of the race. Once he could focus on line and length and maximising his track position, getting the ideal turn-in point, the ideal braking point, and not worrying about, oh no. I was only talking to Thomas Ludi this morning about how bad is his luck. 6 DNFs this year. That looks like number 7 from 14. He's making it 1 in 2 races. He's a retirement. He's telling me this morning 3 of those have been accidents where he's been cleaned up by somebody else. They replaced the engine overnight in the Black Arts racing machine. He got cleaned up off the start by Tommy Smith yesterday. He said Tommy hit the grass, came back onto the circuit, just bounced straight into the side of me. I had nowhere to go. I don't blame Tommy for that, but the damage to the car not only was suspension, but it also, the engine lost its water as a result of the contact. Safety car is out. I can see the board just to the left of me outside the commentary position. It hasn't picked up the leader. This could get complicated. A little bit slow to react considering where they were on track. This could get very, very messy. So this is a little bit more of an opportunity for Jack Doohan. We were just talking about it as we saw Thomas Ludi roll to a stop on the circuit. Once he could stop focusing on protecting position from Ukio Sasahara and actually concentrate on maximising his performance on track, he was able to close down the lead of Daniel Cow from just on 3.3 seconds down to 1.1 over the closing stages of the race. So the consistency and the pace of the number 2 high-tech GP entry was very, very good, and that worked in Jack Doohan's favour, so he'll be hoping to achieve the same thing. So that's on the exit of turn 6. So this highlights that we are on the full Grand Prix circuit. This is the home of the Chinese Formula 1 Grand Prix venue. Brendan Leach might now be able to take advantage. What he's going to have to do is potentially try something a tad risky. And what I mean by that is his only real opportunity potentially. You see off the start, Daniel Cow got an absolutely brilliant start. By the look of those licorice strips across the circuit as he dived across to protect his line from Sasahara, he got a little bit of wheel spin, but brilliant drive. Let's just hope that he did get the perfect start. Jackson Walls made a good start too, down the inside of Jordan Dempsey, just noticing further back. Kwai Yu rather, in the silver entry. So Motorsport also got a very, very good start. It's Tommy Smith. Well, he's up to position number 9 now, but he was certainly blocked out by the 2 Masters entries at Thomas Ludi and Paul Wong down there coming through 2-3. There's that brilliant start by Brendan Leach. He really has to try something, not particularly risky, that may be the wrong word, but he's going to have to take some sort of dive on Daniel Cow off the restart, because in a straight line through the parabolica and the run down onto the back straight, the Absolute Racing team have dialed the number 5 entry in perfectly. So Leach is going to have a dive somewhere under brakes to try and get through on position. The tyre temperature is going to be starting to cool off as they recover Thomas Ludi's number 9 entry down there at turn 6. And this might be Brendan Leach's only opportunity. It's been a tough year for the young New Zealander. Just checking the list of results. DNF once, twice. So DNF at Buriram, off into the gravel at the mid part of the lap, whilst trying to effect an overtaking move. And a drama at Degna 2 during race number 8, the second race at Suzuka. Showed impressive pace though, really was the standout as it has been for most of this year. First season in the Black Arts Racing operation. They've done a lot for the development of young driving talent in the Asian region. Brian and his team very heavily involved in the F4 Championship, which is here this weekend. And they will have wrapped up the championship in that one. But with the likes of Thomas Hugh and certainly Brendan Leach this year, they have emerged as one of the top teams in this championship. No denying High-Tech GP though. They were the champions last year. The victory by Rail Hyman. He only took a solitary win, but Jake Hughes, who made 9 starts, started from pole 9 position, and pole position 9 times, took 9 victories, ultimately fell 2 points short of the championship, missed 2 complete events. High-Tech GP really were the standouts last year. They won the Winter Series, and of course they're into the second season of the F3 Asian Championship, certified by FIA. Running away with the title will be either Ukyo Sasahara or Jack Doohan to take the title away. Things stand right now as we get to the midpoint of race 14 of 15. Sasahara, despite the fact he was in position 4 immediately behind his teammate Jack Doohan, will be crowned the 2019 champion. He is number 1 in Porsche Carrera Cup Japan. He wrapped that title up a few weeks back. Porsche Junior Driver Program. And speaking of junior driving programs, Jack Doohan is part of the Red Bull program internationally and has high hopes of an international career. Certainly has some strong support from his father Mick, a legend at home in Australia, a legend in motorcycle circles right around the world. He is often down there in pit lane helping guide his son, so it looks like safety car's about to pull back in. That's good news. That's what we want to see. Daniel Cow won yesterday, first win of the year, first non-High-Tech GP entry on the top step of the podium this year. Leads the field back around. What does Brendan Leach have for him in the number 86 Black Arts Racing entry? He will be doing everything he can to try and get it up the inside and potentially around the outside of Daniel Cow as they go into turn 1. Unfortunately, the two of them made contact when we were here 3 weeks ago. That was round 12 of the championship. Unfortunately saw a DNF for Daniel Cow. And Brendan Leach suffering, dropping further back. We're on the restart. Daniel Cow fires into turn 14. We are set to go. What does Sasahara have for Doohan? What does Brendan Leach have for Daniel Cow? All will be revealed. Safety car board still out, but we are underway. The safety car is in. Green lights. Good restart for Daniel Cow. The drive through the corner and then the drive off the corner by the Absolute Racing entry really seems to have it over Brendan Leach. Brendan Leach now under fire for Doohan. Doohan wants this now. Up the inside, will he get across? Not quite. Sasahara on the back of Doohan. So now Brendan Leach has gone from attack to defence. This isn't the way he wanted to see this play out. Doohan, knowing he needs to get past Brendan Leach, he really wants to take a victory. He needs cars between he and Ukyo Sasahara, and he's doing absolute best as they run down to turn 6. This has played brilliantly into Daniel Cow's hands as he goes down to turn 6. A comfortable advantage over Brendan Leach, who's now going to have to do everything he can to keep Jack Doohan off his tail and be able to hold him out and refire that Black Arts Racing entry and get back into the groove and track Daniel Cow down. Sasahara, Walls, Dempsey, Pires, Yu, Smith, Gowda, Paul Wong, and the poor old Thomas Ludi back in pit lane. That is retirement number 7 for the season. Look for him to be back this afternoon for the final race. Stay with us, 2:50 p.m. But right now, there's a title on the line. Daniel Cow leads. Brendan Leach defending from Jack Doohan. Jack Doohan defending from Ukyo Sasahara. His only chance now is to get away from the Japanese driver and force his way through. Brake lock up further back. That'll be Tommy Smith. Got through on Akash Gowda, the all-blue entry. Now, well, that looks like Sasahara's got past Doohan whilst we were watching that. Doohan's back to position 4, so Sasahara somewhere through that lap has got through on the Australian. This is vital for the championship. Drag race down to turn 14. Doohan forces his way across. Looks to have more pace in a straight line, Doohan, than Sashahara. That's worked well for the young Australian. He needed that. He needed to get back in front of Sashahara. He's holding him out now. The only thing this is doing is costing Doohan an opportunity to get through and track down Brendan Leach. He needs to get further ahead. The way things are right now, Sashahara is doing everything he can to force Doohan into defence mode. That's allowing him to push Doohan from the back. Oh, this is brilliant racing. This is for a championship. Doohan can't afford to let Sashahara through. Sashahara knows that if things finish now, he's going to be champion. He also knows if he can keep Doohan within sight, finish a car length behind him, he will be the champion. This is fantastic racing. 14 races into a 15-race season, Ukyo Sashahara is showing why he is the number one, why he's already a champion this year, and why he wants to be the champion of F3. Jack Doohan doing everything he can to keep his Japanese teammate out, but this is really calculating driving from the Japanese driver. He's forcing Doohan into defence. That's now opened the gap up. Brendan Leach is closing down race leader Daniel Cow. What can he do to get past him? Is it possible to get past him? Jack Doohan's losing ground. He is not able to stay with Brendan Leach whilst he's defending from his teammate. This is frustrating. Perhaps, oh, that's very wide. Jackson Walls at turn 10. Oh, brake luck up. There's a great sight too for Jack Doohan. That means that Brendan Leach is pushing very, very hard. This could be an opportunity, a sniff if you like, to perhaps catch on to that tail of the number 2 entry. How is the drive off the parabolica for Ukyo Sashahara? Here's where the drag race comes. I can hear what sounds like a skidding car. I can hear tyres squealing somewhere on the circuit. Let's hope there's no drama. Looks okay. Looks like we're all on track as this battle goes down to turn 14. Doohan's on the outside. He's got him again. Straight line speed for the number 2. Has he gone in too deep? What's happened on the exit? Has Sashahara managed to get alongside? Yes, he has. Doohan's got the inside for the final corner. And Sashahara out wide again. Doohan's forcing him as wide as he needs to. Straight line speed for the number 2 is fantastic. But Sashahara, this is playing into his hands perfectly. Just on 11 minutes to go in this race, as Sashahara monsters the tail end of Jack Doohan. This is brilliant racing. 2 young drivers at their absolute peak, pushing as hard as they possibly can. For Sashahara, he's doing it brilliantly, forcing Doohan onto the defence. Oh, brake lock up. Is that an opportunity for the Japanese driver to look up the inside? Closes onto the tail of the number 2 again. Where's Brendan Leach? 1.3 seconds back from Daniel Cow across the line. He's lost a little bit that lap. That could have been down to the brake lock-up that we saw just ahead of this battling pair as Jackson Walls continues to hold out. Jake Dempsey and Isham Peiris now closing in. So it's a 3-way battle for position number 5. It's Kuai Yu now back to position number 8. Good start for the Chinese driver, up to position 6, and there's on Motorsport entry. He's dropping a little bit further back as Doohan just manages to eke out a little bit of an advantage now. He needs to get away from Sashahara. He needs to hunt down Brendan Leach, and if he can, get past the New Zealander. The gap between the two now, though, 2.7 seconds. Jack Doohan now 4 seconds back from Daniel Cow. This is what happened yesterday. He managed to claw it back over the final 10 minutes. It wasn't enough, though. He managed to pull 3 points out of the lead of Sashahara as we got into race 14. There's 50 points left still on the board. 25 for the win, 18, 15, 12. The way things stand at the moment, Doohan will pull another 3 points out. And at 32 points, there's absolutely no chance. As Isham Peiris now all over the back of Jordan Dempsey. You see the green entry pulls out of the slipstream. We know how good these absolute racing cars are off the corner. He looks to the inside, goes to the outside again. Dempsey defending, side by side into the braking point. Will he get the crossover? No, Dempsey's got him protected on the outside. John O'Hara will be pretty impressed with that. His young charge doing a good job. Good close to the season for the Pinnacle Motorsport team. Oh, Isham Peiris very, very wide onto the AstroTurf. Door open now for Kuai Yu. Can he manage to charge back through on the Sri Lankan driver and take a position away? He was 6th. He's 8th. He won't go around the outside there. Peiris, oh, he may have gone in a little bit too deep. Has he opened the door? Yeah, oh, it's a spin. Yes, he did. He opened the door. He tried to move across and protect. Gowda now stalled through. He's got through a 360. got to get the car fired up again. Paul Wong is going to put him further back. So now after all that work, Ishan Pires looking for 6th position. Now back to position number 11. 1.5 seconds now, Brendan Leach. The difference between Doohan and Leach, 3.5 seconds. As we look at Gowder, just moved. It tried to protect the line on the run into one. Went in perhaps a little bit too deep. Got into the slightly dirtier part of the circuit. Tried to pull across and protect that position from Akash Gowder and unfortunately was unable to do it. So, a little bit sorry from Kwai Yu. There is Paul Wong, who will go on for another maximum haul of points. This would be his 6th win in the Masters battle. But up front, Daniel Cow's looking for win number 2. He's just broken the back of Brendan Leach, rather. And the lead is out to more than 1.5 seconds now. What Leach needs to do is watch out for Jack Doohan. Doohan's got away from Sasahara. There he is. The red nose on the number 2 entry of the High-Tech Grand Prix. Number 2, Jack Doohan. There's Brendan Leach. Just under 8 minutes to go in this race. And I think for Jack Doohan, sadly, this could be all over. Sasahara tried his best. He did everything he could to force Jack Doohan to focus on defence. That slowed the Australian down. It dropped his lap time back. He dropped off the tail of Brendan Leach. The gap, 3.5 seconds last time round. What is it as we come to the line this time round? It is 4.1 seconds. So Doohan's actually lost more time on that last lap to Brendan Leach. And unfortunately, it is advantage, well, not just to Daniel Cow, who's on screen in that number 5, black and pink, or dark grey and pink, absolute racing entry. It's advantage to Ukyo Sasahara. He can just sit comfortably, circulate. This will be his 2nd worst round result of the year. 4th place currently, first time off the podium in some time. Worst result, just 2 points in the 3rd race at Suzuka by virtue of a drive-through penalty after contact with Petitacek, who was making a cameo appearance. Doohan went on and took one of his 2 wins in Suzuka. Was on task to take 3 from 3 in Suzuka on his debut there. Such a good job. You can see how hard he's pushing, laying rubber, coming through turn 9, 8 and 9, into turn 10 now, as he's trying his level best to track down Brendan Leach and take some more points out of this lead. But at the moment, Sasahara's done everything he needed to take the win away. Sasahara drive-through penalty in round 9. Doohan, whilst leading comfortably during a safety car period, just ahead of the restart, coming out of Spoon Curve, triggered the car's throttle fail-safe algorithm. And that put the car into limp mode. He had to bring it to a stop, turn everything off, reset it, restart, and with a couple of laps to go, unfortunately, he had no time to regroup. And that dropped him back in the championship points. He lost a certain, well, potentially 25, so that would have been 24 points further forward. That would have meant that the battle was down to just 11 points coming into this race. Unfortunately, it didn't work out that way, and despite the dramas in round 9 for Sasahara with that drive-through penalty, 3 solid results here 3 weeks ago after a few unfortunate runs. Just couldn't nail the setup, wasn't 100% comfortable in the car. He just couldn't get it right for Doohan. He got a 4th, he got a 3rd, he got a 2nd. Meanwhile, his Japanese teammate took 3 solid wins and stormed away to a 38-point lead coming into this final event. So outside of that, Doohan's done everything right. This is the way the season had run. The opening round won by Sasahara, Doohan 2nd. The 2nd round at Sepang won by Sasahara, Doohan 2nd. The 3rd race won by Doohan, Sasahara 2nd. The 4th event, the first at Buriram, Ukyo 1, Jack 2. 2nd race, Jack 1, Ukyo 2. 3rd race, Ukyo 1, Jack 2. That's the way the opening 9 events, actually, of this season, 7 events of this season played out. Sasahara went on to take the 2nd win at Suzuka after that technical issue, or the setback, the electronics issue with Doohan. And Doohan took the 3rd win there, and it was 3 straight to Sasahara. And his 4th straight, if you take yesterday's race into account. Well, it wasn't actually, it was Daniel Cow's win. So Sasahara 3rd yesterday, Doohan 2nd. And it's very much looking like Daniel Cow will take the victory again, out by 2 seconds now over Brendan Leach. Fastest lap, 2:02.78. Yesterday he set the fastest lap at 2:01.39. Daniel Cow, unfortunately, will start rear of field for this afternoon's final round of the season. The suspension failure between the two qualifying sessions yesterday saw him unable to record a time. He was an early retirement. They repaired the car, sent him out for race number 13. Daniel Cow won that. This is race 14. This battle further back. It's Jackson Walls and Jordan Dempsey. This is for position number 5. Sashahara now well back from doing 3.5 seconds. He's done enough the way things stand right now to be champion. That's it. Good vision by Jackson Walls. Very, very clever drive. Jordan Dempsey's trying everything he can. The High Tech Grand Prix team doing a good job. A little bit of graining on the tyres. Oh, locks the left front as he tries to get the crossover affected. Hasn't managed to pull it off. But this has been a terrific battle in this race. Jackson Walls, this is just his 3rd event with the team. Really doing a very, very good job. Doing a lot of F4 in Australia. Sadly, that championship has come to a close. Expect to see more of the young Australian. His father, Tony Walls, racing in GT competition in Australia over recent years in a McLaren with the objective livery. Jackson Walls really doing a very, very good job. 2nd generation racer. Jack Doohan too, 2nd generation racer. There's a few of them in the field. Daniel Cow up front, out by 2.2 seconds. Doohan still 4.3 seconds back from Brendan Leach as this battle continues to go on. Just a couple of laps left in this race. And it looks very much like the championship is over as we get to the end of this one. Sashahara well back, 12.5 seconds back now from the race leader. But he's done enough. He's forced Doohan to lose the tail of that battle for the lead. And that's all it would take. Daniel Cow still consistently punching out solid laps. Last time round 2:03.3, fastest man on track. 2:03.5 for Brendan Leach, still doing a good job in position number 2. And for Jack Doohan, his fastest lap 2:03.7. He's just set his fastest first sector last time round as he continues to charge. But you can see the gap. Daniel Cow, Brendan Leach to Jack Doohan. Jack Doohan, big deficit now back to Ukio Sashahara, who has Jackson Walls behind, and Jordan Dempsey still there in the orange and black entry for Pinnacle Motorsport. Black Arts Racing, Brendan Leach. High Tech GP for the cars in positions number 3, 4 and 5, Doohan, Sashahara and Walls. Just a couple of laps to go now for Daniel Cow. Can the local driver, supported by the local team? That looks like the last lap board that's out there too. Yep, well, there's the indication. Top centre of screen for Daniel Cow. He looks like he's going to go back-to-back. The local driver, the Chinese driver for the Chinese-based Absolute Racing team at home. They have a base here at Shanghai International Circuit. They kicked off here. Fabian Fior and Ingo Mader back at Zhuhai International Circuit some years ago. Also have a base at Sepang International Circuit in Malaysia. But this will be well received. A lot of the GT teams down there supported by Absolute Racing. So there will be much support for Daniel Cow. Brendan Leach too. Shout out to the young New Zealander. Solid drive by him. 2nd again. He will be happy with that. Nothing he can do. He's good opportunities to close in on Daniel Cow to get onto his tail at the Parabolica, but the drive for the Absolute Racing cars off the corners, the vital corners like turn 1, 2, and certainly 11, 12 into the Parabolica for that drive down the long back straight here at Shanghai International Circuit. Cars set up absolutely perfectly. When you're based at the circuit, you've got a good opportunity to do plenty of testing, get plenty of data, and Absolute Racing have put that to very, very good effect for what looks like back-to-back victories for Daniel Cow. The big battle, though, was over position number 3, and that was vital for the championship. 35 points coming in, the advantage to Ukio Sashahara. Up until this race, 50 points still on the board. It will be another 25 to Daniel Cow, who coming into this race was 115 points behind. Ukio Sashahara wasn't in the championship battle. He is in a championship fight with the man behind him, Brendan Leach, over position 3 in the championship. He extends that advantage again with his 2nd win of the year. He's got one more corner to go. Daniel Cow rejoicing again for Absolute Racing. Win number 2, that's 2 from 2 this weekend. From pole position, Daniel Cow takes his 2nd win. Brendan Leach across the line in position number 2. Jack Doohan, another storming drive after a recovery from 3 weeks ago to take position number 3. But in the distance, here he is, the 2019 champion for the F3 Asian Championship, certified by FIA, High-Tech Racing's High-Tech Grand Prix, Ukio Sashihara from Japan. That is the championship. And here is your second champion. He's already wrapped that up last time out. Paul Wong from the 852 Challengers team for the Masters title. Checkered flag for him, just one race left in this championship, but it's out of question now. It comes down to just one more operation, 30 minutes plus a lap, 2:50 p.m. this afternoon. But the champion is Ukio Sashihara, all right, provisionally, provided nothing dramatic happens. This was a great battle for position 3. Brendan Leach for Black Arts Racing and Daniel Cow. That will still go down to the wire this afternoon. I don't think Daniel Cow's put that completely out of question just yet, but there is your champion. Jack Doohan, great recovery after a tough run here 3 weeks ago. 4th, 3rd and 2nd. Well, he's back on the podium. It's 3rd this time. It was 2nd yesterday. He'll have one more opportunity this afternoon, but realistically, he knows the championship is out of question. Ukio Sashihara, you have to tip your hat to the Japanese driver. He forced Doohan into defensive mode. That allowed the two leading cars to get away. His only chance really was to extend the advantage between he and Ukio Sashihara to more than 10 points so that he could take the battle down to the final race of the year. Now it doesn't matter what happens. Once these results are official, Ukio Sashihara, he will be able to carry that number 1 with pride as the 2019 F3 Asian Championship certified by FIA champion. Jack Doohan just signalling across to Daniel Cow. Well done, mate. Good job. That's win number 2. There's been 4 this year for Doohan. 8 for Ukio Sashihara. And just one more rotation of Shanghai International Circuit. And the championship will come to a close for 2019. But fret not, the 2020 season starts at Sepang International Circuit, 14th, 15th of December. 10th and 11th of January, we're at Dubai. Yas Marina a week later, 17th, 18th, 18th of January. 14th to 15th of February, back at Sepang, and the season closes out on the 22nd and 23rd of February at Chang International Circuit in Buriram for races 13, 14 and 15 of the 2020 season. Daniel Cow comes into pit lane. We'll hear from him with Feline very, very shortly. He joins Jack Doohan and Brendan Leach for what will be round 14 of 15 for season 2019. And there you have it, unofficially, officially. Daniel Cow takes victory. He's 2nd for the year for Absolute Racing. Brendan Leach in position 2, Jack Doohan in position number 3, and the man who will be crowned 2019 champion, Ukio Sashihara, in position number 4. Jackson Walls makes it 3, 4, 5 for High-Tech GP. Jordan Dempsey in position 6, Kwai Yu in position 7, Akash Gowda, Tommy Smith, and Isham Piris, unfortunately, after that spin. Paul Wong, and unfortunately for Thomas Liudi, it was DNF number 7 for him in season 2019. We'll go across to the race winner, Daniel Cow, very, very shortly. With any luck here from Brendan Leach and Jack Doohan, and potentially the 2019 champion, Ukio Sashihara. And here's the restart. It was all down to the start. He did it yesterday. He did it from the 2nd row, this time from pole position. Daniel Cow, brilliant drive off the line. Brendan Leach tried to go around the outside of Jack Doohan. Then he had Sashihara up the inside. But Leach knew that Doohan was going to defend. But ensure that he didn't have a DNF. He wasn't going to defend too hard, so he muscled the Australian driver out. Then Sashihara tried to muscle the Australian too, to try and force him into some sort of error. He took Jack Doohan's focus off eyes forward. He had no other opportunity than to take the fight to Sashihara, because he knew if the Japanese driver finished in front of him, he had no chance of taking the fight into the final round. Good drive for Doohan off the parabolica. The straight line speed for the number 2 was brilliant. Good battle too. That's Kuai Yu trying to go down the inside of Jackson Walls. He was trying to keep out Jordan Dempsey, but unfortunately went too deep into 14. Very well picked up by Jackson Walls. This is the great battle with Ukyo Sashihara forcing Doohan into defensive mode all over the rear of him, because he knew that if he could keep Doohan from battling at the front, he would have enough of a points advantage at the end of this race to be crowned the 2019 champion. This was Ishan Pires. Great battle with Kuai Yu, who's having a solid run, the local Chinese driver. Forced Pires into an issue, 360 spin on the exit, dropped him in a fight for 5th, back to position number 11. Daniel Cow, Brendan Leach, Jack Doohan, Ukyo Sashihara, and the great battle that went for most of the race between Jackson Walls and Jordan Dempsey. But ultimately it was win number 2 to Daniel Cow, who'll be down there on the grid with Feline. Stay with us, don't go away. We have the podiums, we have the driver interviews, we have the press conference, and importantly at 2:50 this afternoon, we have the final round of the 2019 season.
曹卓非常精彩的，从昨天到今天拿了2场比赛的冠军。那么你觉得这个比赛周和上一个比赛周相比，你的最大的进步在哪里？
上一个比赛，是带了有一点点压力比赛的，因为2辆 Hi-Tech 车实在是比较快，所以我本来是抱有一种做我最好的成绩去完成这场比赛，但是没有想到我特别幸运拿了第1。然后刚才这一场比赛呢，是第1发车，那就更多的自信心了。我觉得第1发车也理所应当应该是第1完赛。总体来说感觉还不错。
谢谢。So I asked Cao Zhuo what has changed from last race weekend to this race weekend, and he told me he was pretty relaxed. He has less pressure than last race weekend, and so he can just go to the race. And so for today's race, and he built more confidence because he started from P1. So he's very glad he has 2 wins. Back to you guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, now is Podium Ceremony for 2019 Formula 3 Asia Championship certified by FIA Race 14. 女士们、先生们，现在进行2019国际汽联亚洲三级方程式锦标赛第14回合的颁奖仪式。Now let's welcome our top 3 drivers onto the podium. Winner of the race, car number 5 from Absolute Racing, 曹卓。获得冠军的车手是来自绝对车队的5号车手曹卓。Second place, car number 86 from Black Gas Racing, Brandon Leitch。获得亚军的车手是来自 Black Gas Racing 的86号车手布兰登·雷奇。Third place, car number 2 from High Tech Grand Prix, Jack Duhan。获得季军的车手是来自 High Tech GP 的2号车手杰克·杜汉。下面有请王茂才先生，嘉通轮胎中国投资有限公司总经理，为冠军车手颁奖。Let's invite Mr. 王茂才, Assistant to General Manager of Giti Tire Investment Company, to present the trophy to first place. 下面有请生田公太郎先生，Dixel 株式会社常务董事和技术开发部部长，为亚军车手颁奖。Let's invite Mr. Kotayo Ikuta, Executive Director of Manager of Engineering Department of Dixel Company, to present the trophy to second place. 下面有请杨致远先生，福斯润滑油中国有限公司市场营销总监，为季军车手颁奖。Let's invite Mr. Patrick Yang, Marketing Director of Fuchs Lubricants China Limited, to present the trophy to third place. Now let's have group photo. 前面所有获奖嘉宾和车手合影留念。下面我们为获得冠军的车手进行奏中华人民共和国国歌。Now it's time for national anthem for the winner. Now let's invite Master Cup winners. 下面有请大师组冠军车手。Winner of Master Cup, car number 44 from A52 Challengers by Zen Motorsports, Paul Wang. 大师组的冠军是来自852 Challengers by Zen Motorsport 的44号车手 Paul Wang. Now let's invite Mr. David Digobi, General Manager of Top Speed Shanghai Limited, to present the trophy to Master Cup winners. Now let's have group photo. 好，感谢我们的颁奖嘉宾。Now finally it's the time for the winners. It is champagne time.
The press conference of the Formula 3 Asian Championship, race 2 of round 5. Congratulations to the podium finishers. We'll start with you, Daniel. Congratulations. Another win, faultless race. You had a great start, I think. And do you feel it's easier to drive when you're in the front?
Not so easy because Fly Car's car just behind me, and I think I'm very lucky because two high-tech car was fighting just now. So I think I'm very lucky.
That was going to be my next question. How much pressure did Brendan put onto you, especially in the beginning of the race? He seemed to be able to match your pace. And were you watching your mirrors a lot or focusing on your own race?
On the big straight, sometimes I watch my mirror, but in the corner I focus in the car.
Okay, very good. Brendan, congratulations, second place. Good result, thanks to very strong pace, especially at the start of the race. Can you tell us what happened at the safety car restart? It looked like you lost a bit of track position there.
Yeah, it's just found it quite hard to get rid of some of the pickup on the tyre. being a bit cautious after yesterday, probably as well. Not so confidence inspiring, but the car was really nice to drive today, and yeah, awesome drive by Daniel. He was faultless. I couldn't put any pressure on him because he didn't let me get close enough. So yeah, really happy with the way the car's performing now, and just finding that last little piece to try and challenge for a win, because I'd love one of those to finish it off today.
So that's the plan for this afternoon?
Yeah, we'll try and get the big W, but look, it depends on so many things. So yeah, we'll just do the best we can.
All right, thank you very much. Jack, what a race. Maybe not the position you wanted to finish, but that was some phenomenal driving and defending as well. Did you leave anything on the table today?
Not really. We were guaranteed second in the championship, you know, so I did my best to try and stay in front. You know, I was on the older tyre from yesterday, trying to save it the better tyre for this afternoon, so we knew it was always going to be tough to try and challenge definitely Kao and Yukio, but when I got in front on the start, then Brandon got up the inside, and then I was just struggling from then on in, and I just tried to do my best. It wasn't enough in the end, but I gave it my all at least.
Well, it looked really good on camera, and I'm sure everybody will agree with that. We'll go to Paul. Paul, another win for you. Are you happy with the progress you've made this season? And do you feel that the single-seater driving has improved your racecraft?
Oh, amazing. It's very happy, and I am improving a lot. Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, then we go to our championship winner this year, Ukio. Congratulations on the championships. Tell us what winning this championship means to you.
Yeah, first of all, I have to thank to all the high-tech Grand Prix members. They've been fantastic job all the year. Well, still we have one more race to go, but yeah, it's happy to be here happy to be here in champion. And in this race, I just tried to finish the race, and yesterday I don't have any tire left, so today I just try to keep it to the end of the race, and I don't need to take any risk to overtake Jack in the middle of the race. So yeah, in the end I got championship, so very happy about that.
All right, thank you very much. Take a group photo of the top 3 winners. We'll do all together first. Just the top 3 first. Just maybe one picture of you. Just one picture.
Yes. Yes. A few more words on that. This is yes. Do you think this is how's it been doing Giti?
Yeah, it's been different. Like away from the single seater is a bit sharp and close to ground. But in the end, it's my actually first time GT and doing both single seater too. And it just again I managed to drive both of them.
Do you think this is really going to be a boost?
Yeah, I hope so.